Well, people, it is the 2nd of January. Yes, January 2nd of 2026. I am Franchise Pearson, and welcome again to my show. Let's say it together. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. May he cover us continuously in his blood, and ask for angels as we go another day, one step closer to our Lord and Savior who has to come. You see, people, God searched around the whole wide world looking to restore, to maintain this order that thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And he found Noah. He wasn't a perfect man, but he utilized him as well. So he said, no, I want you to build me a boat. Build me a boat. Get the relatives and get 2 of each kind. Make a plan. It's going to take you a little while because, I want you to think about what you're doing. I want to make sure it resonates with your heart. Don't give up. I'll be there. Don't worry about the supplies. Don't worry about the distractions, the criticism, all the things that people will say. They'll mock you. You're building a boat. Noah, you got to be crazy. Out of your cotton-picking mind. But I want to ensure that we're going to get this done because my word is the most powerful force on the planet. And I need you to take on that responsibility and fulfill this mission. Yes, it is a mission. And do me a favor, I want you to make a little bitty window there so when the flood ends, when the water begins to recede a little bit, no more lightning and rocking and rolling out there, you can send that bird out there. See if there's some dry land. Noah's like, okay, I got you. I got you. Can you imagine the level of trust that Noah had to have? Even though they say he was a drinker, he had to be at the same time simultaneously a man of faith because he trusted God and he worked in God's behalf toward that goal about God's order. What is God's order? It's right there in the book of Genesis. And when he sealed it, he said it's good. Well, people, we live in a time and place in America, around the world. I am sure God is looking around the world and he's saying this time, I ain't building no ark. These are the last days. I'm not going to restore order the way it used to be. Man has had his chance. He's had his rendezvous. He's decided to go with certain secret societies to praise himself, to uplift himself, not do justice to the people. There's crying like the time of Moses and Pharaoh, let my people go. They're not hearkening to the cries of the people. I've got to come. I've got to change it. My son Jesus was here, lived a perfect life. He gave his life. No greater love than that a man lay down his life. He set the example, bled, died, and rose and said, well, I go to prepare a place for you not made by hand. See, he knew that one day the world would be in such a condition that he would no longer repeat the cycle of restoring his order, that time would be up. And similar to the days of Noah, that day is now. But man just don't want to recognize that. Or some of them we don't want to recognize. And we think that the order that we have embarked upon will last forever. I got news for you. It's not going to last forever. I want to talk about this Iranian thing that's going on. I didn't want to do this video, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it because I need to set some perspective. We 2 days into the new year, and Donald Trump is sending his threats as well as Iran is selling their threats. Can't we get a little peace right about now? But before I do that, I want to answer some questions. I got some folks chirping in the comment section the last few weeks talking about, oh, Pearson, Donald J. Trump gonna be unalive. You must be for Kamala Harris. What part of these videos aren't you not listening to? Are you cherry picking again? Folks out here going on my site and they cherry picking. They listen to maybe 3, 4, 5 minutes of the video, or they watching every 20th video and they coming to opinion. You can't come to an opinion like that. Watch the videos. I ain't for neither one of them. These are the last days. I know they playing the black and white, the chessboard, the good and the bad, the ugly. And I did a number system back in the day when they was running for office. This is just simple. Some simple. June 14, 2025. That's Trump's birthday. October 20th, 2025. That's Kamala Harris' birthday. The difference is 47. Who's the 47th president? And what about this? Well, if it ain't April 6, 2025, who is that? That's the governor of Minnesota. All that fraud, waste, and abuse allegedly going on, that's Tim Walz's birthday. And this here, Kamala Harris' birthday. Subtract the 2, you get 614. Now that's Trump's birthday. I've been revealing that for a long time. Where you been? Oh, you must be a Kamala fan. You always knocking Trump. That's all I hear. Pearson, Trump. Let me get him straight for the new year. Let him know I know what's going on. It's the last thing I do when I leave out of 2025. I'm going to get that Pearson straight. Put my teeth back in my mouth. People, look, watch the video. Now let me get to this Iranian thing. See, it's some signifying going on between Iran and Mr. President. We are 2 days into the new year. Santa Claus just got back to the North Pole. Rudolph and cleaned off his hoofs, looked at his shiny nose and realized the battery is still good for the end of the year. The elves is chilling out, looking at their presents, got the cocoa and the s'mores, got the legs crossed, chilling out. Everybody happy. Then the elves turn on the internet, boom. Iran and Trump is at it again. Can we just get along? Let me let you hear some of this here. Some of these things I can't show because it's violent. I think it's violent. Maybe I missed that part, but check it out.
Widespread protests across Iran as frustration grows over soaring prices and a collapsing economy. Videos show crowds tearing down gates and battling with security forces. Here's former Deputy National Security Advisor Victoria Coates.
It's been 50 years, and I think we've seen the real, we've seen their currency hit a new low against the dollar. It's valueless, essentially, and so merchants can't open their stores. They've had to cut off subsidies for food and energy. This is really a tailspin economically for Iran. The United States doesn't really have an issue with regime change in Iran per se. The president's been clear. His bottom line is no nuclear weapons for Iran. But if the people of Iran take it into their hands to make this change, I think it could be very beneficial to us.
Jeff Paul is in Tel Aviv following this for us. Jeff, good morning.
Well, yeah, Molly, and thousands upon thousands of folks there in Iran taking to the streets as the economic crisis there deepens. And these protests are not only getting bigger and more widespread, but they are getting more intense as well. And so as a result, the response from the Iranian government, well, it's matching that.
People, this ain't nothing new. This is nothing new. I saw this in the 70s. You saw it in the 70s, even in the 80s. This is called a tactic. New subscribers, welcome. I'll go historical before I move forward. See that word right there? That's a tactic. Many times before regime change or overthrow of a country, they devalue the currency and they cause internal strife. And then during the confusion, somebody steps right on in and takes it over. Call it a coup d'etat. You flood it with a couple of hundred people who look just like you. And the folks don't know. Because the inflation hit an all-time high. I think this was at 31.7%, whatever they said it was. But it's high. It's White Sox. It's White House high. It's White House. I see that white stuff on the window ledge high. That kind of high. People, this ain't nothing new. Somebody over there then caused them to go into a chaotic mode. And now you're hearing all this back and forth talking. Let's go on to the next feed, and then we're going to get down with this thing.
President Trump and top officials in Iran are now exchanging threats as protests across the Islamic Republic turn deadly. Several people have been killed during the growing demonstrations sparked by economic hardships, and President Trump says the U.S. is ready to intervene. In a social media post, the commander-in-chief said, quote, "We are locked and loaded and ready to go if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters." But Iran warns U.S. intervention in Iranian domestic issues would bring chaos across the region. CBS News Middle East reporter Courtney Keeley joins me now from our Washington bureau with more on this. Courtney, what's the latest reaction to what we're hearing from both President Trump and officials in Iran right now?
Well, we've heard and seen that locked and loaded quote on Truth Social, and what's happening in Iran is the top leader to the supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Ali Larijani, has posted in response. And what he's saying is the U.S. should watch over their own soldiers, that Trump started this adventurism. Now, there was let
me say this to you people. This eternal strife is timely. It's like a process and a step-by-step before it go down. Let me show you some gematria that we're going to get into the logic. Trump said he locked and loaded. Locked and loaded. Why does locked and loaded come out to 79? Pearson, what you getting at? Well, hold tight. They also said that to the dictator. That's what they're saying over there. That also come out to 79. People, what if I told you Donald J. Trump is 79 years old? Do you think this is a coincidence? Does this have multiple meanings? I think it does. That's why when I say they're going to unalive Trump, maybe some of them folks get a little bit in their feelings, talking about, oh, you're a Kamala fan. Why you hear what you want to hear? I'm telling you what the powers are doing. Trump going to play golf, and they're giving you hints. But you looking at me who delivered it, and you coming up against me, and you going to tell me who I'm choosing. Listen to the video. Use your brain cells. Ask God, please, Lord, give me discernment skills. This brother breaking it down as elementary as possible. It's 79. Trump is 79 years old. You got a right to think it's coincidence, but I don't. I've been watching geopolitics for 40-something years. This is how they do it. They destabilize the situation. Anybody who know what I'm talking about, destabilization, please put it in the chat briefly and explain to people what I'm trying to put down here. It's a trend since the 60s and 70s. Did I say we doing it? Hey, well, you know. You destabilize. You put a couple of hundred people over there. The so-called leader allegedly act like he or she not in on it. then boom, take the country. Been revealing this off and on for a while, man. Can't think of this one brother. He got a book out. Can't think of his name right now. Economic Hitman. Tales of an Economic Hitman. Watch the video on YouTube and you get a sense of what I'm trying to say. Then beat up on him. Tales of an Economic Hitman. People, this ain't good for nobody. Because the bottom line is that the people, not only you got inflation, but you got a WAR environment. Now you got military gonna run the thing. Then it finally settles down and you jumping and cheering and saying, oh, thank God, we got somebody in leadership. But who you think put them there? And that's a microcosm of what's been going on in the world since the 1800s, before King Arthur. And it's going to happen to this country. We're going to wake up one day, it's going to be a whole new leadership. But you're going to be familiar with him and her. Well, Pearson, get to the point. Yeah. Kamala's coming back temporarily. She's the lotus flower, in my humble opinion. Kamala means lotus flower. If you know anything about Egyptian, you know that the lotus flower births the sun god Ra. You got to do some homework sometime. Just don't get out here chatting and chit-chatting and don't know your history. Lead you to the water, don't even want to drink. Who we supposed to vote for then? It's over with. I just gave you a good example. God said to help restore the order through Noah. He ain't doing it no more. It's over with. It's over with. Your America's over with. So they're going to keep on destabilizing stuff across the world so it can fall into the Antichrist. Because the goal is what? Don't own nothing and be happy. One way to do it is to cause inflation. If I could show the video, I would, but I can't as a content creator, all the violence. They throwing bricks, all that kind of stuff going on. That's on purpose. Just like they did here this summer and last summer and doing BLM and Antifa, all that stuff is orchestrated as far as I'm concerned. The majority of it is orchestrated. It is orchestrated. There's a well-oiled system in place. Been going on. That's why I told y'all the civil rights movement was infiltrated. The women's right was information. The women's right thing was infiltrated. All this stuff is infiltrated to make change for them, not for you. So now the divorce rate is up. And now the economy is bad. They're letting women go before men. Now women are like, oh, I ain't got no job. I ain't hating on the women. I'm just talking about the setup. A lot of women fell for the okie doke. I'm going to be independent. I can do everything a man can do. No, you can't. You ain't built like that. Now the children is really wild. Because now the woman that got out of her role. I ain't saying all women should not work. I'm just saying that all the women shouldn't work. Once you got a couple of kids, by the time you get home, arguably over 60% of your check is going toward daycare and everything else. What's the sense of working? Train a child direction he or she will go. They won't depart. They won't depart. They won't depart. They can't depart if you ain't giving them no road to go down. This system has messed up the relationships, the family, the communities, and international affairs. We keep falling for it. Eve fell for it. That was a division tactic. Not just to get him to sin, it was a division tactic. But Eve didn't know it. She couldn't see the forest for the trees. Too busy eating the apple, whatever it was. Understand the game. The women's rights movement was not for all women. Period. It wasn't. It was to transform America, to weaken the family. When I was telling folks this generations ago, they thought I was crazy. But I knew how destabilization overseas was working. Third world countries. Now it's our turn. So now God's like, I'm done. I can't continue my order. I'm not getting the praise out of the life, out of the roadmap, out of the way I want things to be. Do you understand? God wanted things to be a certain way, and his seed would continue therein. But you can't do it when you mess up the family. You can't do it when you destabilize countries overseas. And the devil is destabilizing things, whether it's America over there doing it or China. I don't know who's doing it. Got an idea about who's doing it, but it's happening. And it's going to fall into the hands of somebody. But I know one thing. This is what it says. This, and it's 79. And I know another thing. It says this, and that's 79. And with this environment, Trump ain't got too much longer. Kamala's coming, whether you like it or not. And then she'll have a short reign. She's the symbolic part that births the Antichrist. We better get ready. Get right, stay right, get ready for the flight. My name is Crenshaw Pearson. You might not like what I got to say, but I advise you watch a lot of my videos to find out what I'm really breaking down. This is last day prophecy. I love women. I respect men. But somebody got to raise the children right. And every household is different. And like I said a little while ago, every woman wasn't supposed to make that move out of the house. Look at the results of our society now. Somebody got to tell you. Somebody got to tell you what kind of power that you do have. Because the power that you didn't do in helping maintain the order in the house, because you left so to go do something else, look at the result of your kids. Now I understand some women had to leave because they got knucklehead men that you made a decision to get with. Then again, some people change. I can go back and forth all day. But again, God is looking at all sides and he's saying, you know what? I can't work with this seed no more. I got to come. The bottom line is, it's over with. And you should be glad, because I'm sure you're frustrated. I just saw somebody's video. I didn't watch it. Talking about the lady, respectfully, the lady said, her man is coming home from prison. She don't want to take him back. These are the kind of decisions that this society has to deal with now. We got to make better choices. God bless you. But this ain't good for nobody. This WAR overseas and destabilization. We got destabilization here. We're not even dealing with January 1st question of the healthcare crisis and people who don't have Obamacare right now. They ain't talking about that. Let that sink in.